Behind me is a busy intersection. It's about maybe 5:30 in the morning, and people are starting to go to work. Most of those cars have one person in them, and many of those people will be around people all day, and yet they won't be with anyone. I want to talk about depression today, and I want to talk about one of the possible reasons for it. I know the traffic is a little loud behind me, but hopefully you can hear me okay. So, two interesting events that I think kind of sum up what I want to say today. And by the way, whenever I do a podcast on depression, I get a lot of hate mail from people that say, you don't understand, I have a clinical problem, I'm on medication, there's no way around this. And I understand that there's all different reasons for depression and why people have depression, anxiety, those kinds of things. And yet, folks, I think there's one common thing that most of them have in common. Let me give you these two examples. After 9/11 here in the United States, New York City hospitals, psychiatric and mental hospitals, were preparing for an onslaught of, new patients. And they thought they were going to be full to the brim, and they were prepared for it with extra staff, whatever they needed. But just the opposite happened. They experienced one of the lowest admissions that they'd ever had. Interesting, isn't it? A similar thing happened in London after the bombings in the underground. They were gearing up for the same thing, that there would be all kinds of people going into the mental institutions and the psychiatric hospitals. And again, lowest rate. They had just the opposite effect. And when they began to study this and figure out why these two events were different, there was one thing they had in common: community. People taking care of each other, people reaching out to each other, people understanding the need for community, and it made all the difference in the world. Folks, we've been talking a lot about body life. We've been talking about the church and why it's so important that we get together in the body of Christ and that we relate together with those important issues. But folks, just being around people doesn't solve it. It's being with people. It's interacting with people. It's that kind of camaraderie that you have when you share each other's needs and you share your compassion. And it makes all the difference in the world. And I think that's the first place we have to go when we're feeling anxiety and depression, is not to retreat from people, but to find people. To find a support group around us that will really make a difference, and find people that really care about you and that really can help to lift up those dark days. Community. Hope you found one. God bless you. Have a great day.